What up, YouTube? Today we're gonna go into the beginnings. I actually just started writing it. It's this book called Sober, the science of overcoming drug addiction. We're just gonna talk about some of the tactics and strategies of overcoming drug addiction, and I hope you find it useful. So let's get into it, guys. Let me just tell you a little bit about myself first. I am a former, well, I don't know, I'm still once an addict, always an addict, right? So I have been addicted to drugs for over 10 years, and only now am I getting out of it and trying to better myself. They say that you shouldn't expect to change so quickly, but sometimes in addiction, it is really just a shift within months that can really change or make or break your life. So let's get into the book that I've written. It's called Sober. The Science of Overcoming Addiction. So the first point I want to talk about is the habit loop, right? So first, there's always a cue. This is the habit loop that's really been popularized by Charles Duhigg. There's the routine. And then there's the reward. And that in turn reinforces the cue. So that's usually how habits form, right? You have some cue, like say you go to college and a bunch of people around you are smoking weed. That's how it happened for me. The routine is the process of smoking the weed, and the reward is the high that you get from the weed, right? So that's how habits form, right? It's just this process of reinforcing each other. And the reason why drugs are so effective is that they bypass our rational mind and go straight to the primitive regions of the brain that impact our ability to think and feel. They say normal drugs, lower end drugs increase your dopamine levels some, but higher level drugs increase them even more. So they say like normally, if you don't do drugs, your dopamine levels don't go above 50 to 70 picograms per milliliter. Well, drugs, ratchet that up to about over 500, at least, and that's the harder drugs like cocaine and stuff. Marijuana might do it to 200. I don't remember the exact results, but that's what drugs do. They increase the dopamine, the feel-good chemical in your brain. That's the chemical that motivates you to go after things. So it's really going right by your brain and right by your prefrontal cortex and hitting that ancient region of the brain that's telling you, yo, this is just as important as food, right? Food gets our dopamine flowing, sex gets our dopamine flowing, and drugs kind of hack that. And, just a puff and you get your dopamine flowing instead of having to go eat or reproduce, something like that. But why is this the case? So the reason that that's the case is that we have Stone Age brains. Stone Age brains. So we have Stone Age brains in a modern world. That's the basic, simple reason that drugs work the way they do, right? Drugs have tricked our brains into believing that they are more necessary than they actually are. So that's the first little spiel that I'm going to give on drug addiction. I hope to do more. Have a good day, guys.